Hello again everybody, hope you're all okay. Today we're going to look at George Thorogood, Bad to the Bone. An absolute rock and roll classic, although George Thorogood sounds like he might make a nice bitter or be a good greengrocer or something, but it's a rock and roll classic. Let's get on it. Right, let's play through it. But before I do, just going to point out that this first version, or these first versions, are not the official version. They're not in the right key. These are easier versions before we hit the proper one at the end. Okay, so we're on the big E, string 6. Okay, that's the first bit. That's like the intro. All we need is open, open, 5, open, 3, open. 0, 0, 5, 0, 3, 0. 0, 0, 5, 0, 3, 0. Alternate picking if you want, down and up with your plectrum. Okay, so I think it does that about 4 times, and then it kicks into the song proper, and it gets rid of that double open at the beginning, and it just goes 0, 5, 0, 3, 0. Okay. And then what we're going to put in now is we're going to emulate what the bass and the drums are doing in the background. The guitar goes, and in the background you've got like a bomb, 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 bomb. Bom, 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 bom. So we're going to emulate that by throwing in a chord, and this is going to be a power chord. It's called E5, and you want your finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. Okay, just these 2 strings, E and A. Little strum covering those 2 strings, and we're going to do this: 0, 5, 0, 3, 0, chord. I'm putting a little stop in, 2 little strums and a stop. Show you again. 0, 5, 0, 3, 0. 0, 5, 0, 3, 0. Okay, nice and easy. Using a couple of fingers if you want. Now, if you're feeling like, I would use my 3rd and 1st finger, for example, 1st and 3rd fingers. Get a couple of fingers moving. That kind of 1 finger per fret type rule. Now if you're feeling posh, keep that finger rooted on the 2nd fret of the A. Play the rest of the riff. 0, 5, 0, 3, 0, chord. Okay, so you're incorporating the chord there. That's a bit of a stretch. It's a good exercise to get your hand and your fingers kind of stretching out there. It's good, but might feel a bit uncomfortable, so give it a whirl if you want. That's pretty much the whole tune. So with that in mind, what you can do with it is play it on other strings. So you can just drop it down by 1 string. Now we're on the 5th string, the A string. You do exactly the same thing. 0, 5, 0, 3, 0. Put the chord in. So we're not going to use the E5 chord. We're going to use what's called an A5, and that's where you put your finger on 2nd fret on the D, and you play A and D together. That's an A5 power chord. Nothing to do with the big E now. That's out of the way. This chord needs A and D. Okay. Again, you can stretch it out. Okay, let's drop it down again to the D string, your 4th string, exactly the same thing. Now your chord is on the middle 2 strings, D and G, 2nd fret of the G. These easy open power chords, nice and easy to remember. you go. three simplified versions of Bad to the Bone in three different keys. E, A and D. And then you've got those three power chords. E, A and D. Very useful to have those in your head. Right. One thing you might have noticed I've been doing, I'll go back to the big E, string 6. I'm doing a little bend, a tiny little bend on that number 3, okay? Now you don't want to bend too much, keep your finger on, and just give it a little tweak down. Now you don't want to bend the string up, because what's going to happen is that. That's not what you want. Bend it down. And it's just a little, tiny little bend. You don't this? That sounds rubbish. There's nothing cool about that. A little bend. Dragging it down a bit. A fraction. Okay? Little bend like that. Don't that? Ugh, sounds terrible. Right, this is going on a bit, this video. Right, this is actually the way to play the song. Okay? What we're going to use is the middle two strings. D and G together. That makes a natural G5 power chord. Okay? Nice and easy. So, if you remember back to Smoke on the Water, we use that same chord. And we're going to use the same frets that we did on the other versions that I showed you. 005030. So the beginning would go like this. So you've got to decide whether you're going to use one finger across two strings or two fingers. Okay? Whichever, those two, one finger across, whichever finger you want to use, pinky, whatever. It doesn't matter. Completely up to you. 00503. That's your intro, 4 of those. And then it kicks in, like I said before, goes just to this. And we're going to emulate the bass and drums again, same as we did before. And that's your open G5 chord. You don't need any fingers for it. There you go, enjoy it.